I want to give you just 3 practical tips, things that you can do to begin to reorient yourself, to remind you that you are God's workmanship, that you are a person of great value, God's greatest creation, but also ways that you might harness that identity to then labor and to do the work that God calls us to do. And so the first thing I want to invite you to consider doing every day, if possible, is that when you wake up, or maybe after you wake up, when you're doing the thing where you're brushing your teeth in front of a mirror, I want you to look in that mirror. And I want you to say something specific to yourself before you start your day. And I want you to look into the mirror and I want you to say, my value is not determined by what I do, but because of who I am, and I am God's. If we start off each day recognizing that we are God's greatest creation, that our value isn't derived by what we do, but by who we are, that will change your outlook. That will change your inspiration. That will change your motivation. That will allow you to enter into situations knowing that you are enough, that you are valuable, that you are loved, that you are not alone. Start each morning that way. Second thing I want you to consider doing is I want you to remember the most important work you can do is almost always the work you do outside of your job. You know, we have this job that we are paid to do. We have this occupation that we are, employed in. But almost the most important work, almost always the most important work that we can do is the work that happens outside of those jobs. I was struck by that all over again when I was leading that memorial service last week. The thing that we were remembered by is almost always those acts of love, those things that we do with the people that are in our midst, wherever it is that we are traveling. The most important work you can do happens outside of your job. It's your daily commitment to loving one another, to serving one another, to showing up for one another, to showing gratitude for one another. And so remember that every day. What can you do outside of your job to live into your calling, to do God's work? An easy thing to consider doing every day is saying thank you to one of those hourly workers that is overworked and underpaid. When you're at the grocery store, when you're at the drugstore, when you're at the gas station, when you're going to the urgent care clinic, when you're finding yourself sitting at a restaurant or at a coffee shop, what would it look like for you to acknowledge the person that is feeling devalued or worthless? And you simply said thank you for what you do. What if you saw them and thanked them for doing the work that is often thankless? This is one of the ways that we can lift up and elevate the importance of the work that we do outside of our jobs and can become known and reveal the light of Christ to the world around us in unmistakable ways. I came across this quote from Maya Angelou about work this past week, and as I came across this quote, I found it to be powerful and motivating, and I wanted to share it with you. Maya Angelou wrote, she said, "Don't make money your goal. Instead, pursue things you love doing, and then do them so well that people can't take their eyes off of you." My last practical tip that you can do this day, but every day, is to find something you love to do. Find your passion. Find something that you love to do and commit to it. One of the best things that we can do is find these things that we love, commit to them so that people can't take their eyes off of us doing it. This is exactly what Jesus calls his disciples to do. He says, I need you to go and let your light so shine before others that others would come to see what you're doing, to see your good works, so much so that they would give glory to God because of what they see in you. One of the best things that you can do to find life and meaning and purpose and abundance in your daily living is to find something you love to do, find something you're passionate about doing, and commit to doing it. And do it regularly so that people would come to see in you the face, the light, the life of Christ.